Sometimes you're like, why am I doing this? Then you hear that crowd roar. You step out there, you know, it's just, you're in it. You feel the canvas on your feet. And then, you know, it all comes back. You know why you love it. I feel like if I put in a good performance against Wudli, like I know I'm going to, I'm gonna get that title shot and, you know, I'm gonna get that belt around my waist.
It might not have been my destiny to fight Carlos Condi, but I went out there and I made it my destiny. I said that Tairon, the chosen one, Wudli, is here, and I'm getting very close to realizing my dream, and people didn't take me seriously, and I had to keep proving it to them over and over again. So if you sleep on me, you're most likely gonna do just that, be sleeping on the canvas. I'm confident it's my time. I'm explosive, I'm hungry, you know, I have heavy hands, I have good wrestling. I'm really tailor-made for this sport, and I think he's gonna see something way different than what he expects.
It's a great matchup. It's gonna be an exciting fight. He's a very, very tough guy, but I know that I have the abilities and the skills to take him out. I'm just passionate about what I do. I love to fight.
Joe, the chosen one, is going to get a little love here in Big 12 company. Big 12 territory, two-time Division I college All-American, over 100 collegiate victories at Missouri. 12-2 as a professional mixed martial artist, and he utilizes the clinch as well as anybody at 170.
Well, it's really interesting because you don't really think of Tyron Woodley as a wrestler, because he knocks guys out so well in the UFC. But if you watch his earlier fights, when he was really coming into his own in MMA, he utilized his wrestling much more. He got more comfortable there, so he would bring himself into his comfort zone. But now, his hands and his kicks and his knees and his elbows have caught up to his wrestling, and he actually prefers them. He uses his wrestling more to stand up now than anything, and his striking is absolutely terrifying. The way he knocked out Jay Heron, the way he knocked out Josh Koscheck, very, very frightening and devastating performances. Difference being, Carlos Condit, I don't think is going to stand in front of him the way that Josh Koscheck did. I think that if Carlos Condit fights this fight smart, what he's going to do is try to take advantage of the fact that Woodley carries so much muscle and try to drag him into the second and third rounds where he's most likely going to have more gas in his tank.
Woodley looking to knock off #2 in the world. He's compact, he's explosive, he's hungry. As Joe mentioned, he's got heavy hands. Opened his career 10-0. He was 48-0 his senior year of high school wrestling. He's got all the tools, man.
That is amazing. He's an amazing, amazing athlete.
Yep. And as I mentioned, here in Big 12 country, he's going to try to take out the natural-born killer, the former interim welterweight champion, Carlos Condit. Carlos Condit, fighting tonight for the 10th time inside the octagon. He said, and I quote, "I have come further in this sport than I ever imagined. I enjoy it. I get paid to do something I love." And this man has fought at an elite level, Joe, for well over a decade.
He certainly has, and he's only 29 years old, which is really, a lot of people don't realize that about Carlos Condit because we've seen him for so long. He's still growing, he's still improving. He got a very young start in the game, and he has been in there against the elite of the elite in the UFC. He's certainly championship quality. He's right there. He's as good as any of the very best fighters in the world in the welterweight division.
Carlos Condit steps into our USA Wrestling prep point. USA Wrestling, where Olympic journeys begin.
At this point in Carlos Condit's career, it's a matter of putting it all together and maintaining the pace that he had when he fought Martin Kampmann. When he fought Martin Kampmann, he fought, in my opinion, the perfect fight. He used the best skills that we've ever seen him use. He fought at the best pace, and he was the most successful. It was an outstanding fight for him. And I think that fight showed the improvement that he's made and the fact that he's turned a corner since the GSP fight and the Johnny Hendricks fight. He has made the adjustments, he's put in the work, and he continues to grow. And he's still not in his prime. I mean, he's in his prime, but he's not past it. 29 years of age, I mean, an elite athlete between 29 and 35, between that area, that's when you expect to see the best out of him. So we still got another 5-6 years of Carlos Condit at his best.
29 years of age, 29 wins, 27 finishes. Our tale of the tape for this welterweight fight is brought to you by Metro PCS, where nationwide 4G LTE is $40 period. Condit 29, Woodley 31. Condit much taller, the reach pretty close, 1.5 inch advantage. Carlos Condit, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. This fight is 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record, 12 wins, 2 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of St. Louis, Missouri, Taiwan, the chosen one, Wudli. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 29 wins, 7 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, he is the former WEC welterweight champion and the former interim UFC welterweight champion, the natural born killer, Carlos Condit. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Jacob Montalvo.
Jacob Montalvo, our referee. These men both feel they are fighting for the next shot.
And follow my commands at all times. Let's have a good, clean fight. Touch it up. Good luck.
At the UFC title, Carlos Condit, Tyron Woodley. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Condit, you ready? Woodley, you ready?
Fight! Here we go! Woodley, black trunks short. Condit, the long black trunks. Woodley, an outstanding wrestler. Will he look for the takedown? Condit, as versatile as any striker in the welterweight division.
He's as versatile as any fighter. He's very, big right hand right off the back by Woodley. And Woodley's ability to close the distance is something that's very shocking to fighters. You saw it there with that right hand. He landed another one. That one hurt him. Those are 2 hard right hands in a row. The only 2 shots thrown so far in this fight. And Woodley has rattled Carlos Condit's cage twice.
And again, he tries to get in there.
He landed
just
another
missed
one
with the uppercut after the foul of the one that you said connected, Joe.
Carlos is excellent at utilizing angles. He's great with his kicks. But right now, Woodley's finding the range, and he's exploding at the right time.
Woodley with the clinch here. He's got Condit up against the cage in front of us here. And what we saw with those right hands, Mike, is what's scary about Woodley.
Right.
His ability to close the distance and move the way other guys just can't move.
That's how you earn over 100 collegiate victories on the wrestling mat.
It absolutely is, because the ability to shoot that power double translates directly into the ability to close the distance and throw that right hand. It's also what we see with John Hendricks.
Woodley training in American Top Team. One of about 7 or 8 tonight from ATT on the card, including Robbie Lawler fighting for the title up next.
See, now this, I think, would favor Condit, because although Woodley is a very good wrestler and very physically strong, Condit is the guy who's much more known for his endurance and his ability to keep a pace, and there's nothing more grueling than this type of fighter.
Adrian Gonzalez does an excellent job with the strength and conditioning of Carlos Condit. That said, that means Carlos puts in the work.
He's as disciplined as anybody, as is Woodley.
Yes.
But again, as we said before, Woodley packs so much muscle. That muscle comes at a price. It's just like having a muscle car. You know, it's fun to hit that gas, but man,
you're gonna be at the gas station soon.
You're not gonna make it to Vegas.
Not without 4 stops.
There's a nice uppercut there by Woodley.
Get the fingers out of the cage.
Coach Carlos, born and raised in Albuquerque, longtime member of Greg Jackson and Mike Winklejohn's team. Winklejohn is a no-nonsense kind of striking guy. And Condit also credits Brandon Six-Gun Simpson, too.
Condit just tagged Woodley with a left hand. Woodley's slowing down already. And there's a nice kick.
That's where he can mix it up, Joe.
And Woodley's shaking his head like, no, you didn't get me. You don't ever shake your head if a guy didn't get you. You shake your hand once they got you to say that you didn't get it. There's a nice takedown by Woodley. But remember, Carlos Condit's dangerous off of his back.
Condit, an equal opportunity finisher. 13 wins by submission, 14 by TKO or KO.
And look at that. He's already going to meat hook. He's going to what we call mission control position. He shows the flexibility and the dexterity of his legs, that high guard. It makes it very dangerous. And Woodley's got to be careful there. And Woodley right now is just sort of hanging on. Carlos also has wrist control. See how he's got control? It's triangle.
Thrown off.
He threw him off, but that takes a lot of energy.
Absolutely.
And Condit knows it. Condit's right back on him. Now remember, the last fight that we saw Condit lose was against Jake Shields. Big right hand by Woodley, but Condit's still there. And what Jake Shields was able to do was weather this kind of crazy storm and engage him in a grueling grappling battle that Jake was ever able to win.
Watch for the kicks.
Head kick and another takedown.
So that's 2 for 2, and it comes off a strike of Carlos Condit.
Right, but watch again for Carlos Condit off of his back. He was unsuccessful with that first triangle. Let's see if he makes an adjustment. Same thing, able to get wrist control. He's barely got a hold of that left wrist. It's almost like Tairon's not fighting it.
Line him up.
And now they're up.
All right, 15 seconds on the clock here in the first.
Tairon's much slower now, much slower. Still fast. Oh, beautiful spin.
But Condit walks right through it.
And Condit tags him on the break.
Head kick.
Right. Very interesting the way this is playing out.
All right, Mr. Condit. Take a big breath, Carlos. Let's calm it down a little bit. Some water for you. A little bit more. Excellent. Okay. We're letting him control that space a little bit more. When you're coming in tall. That's why he's getting that stuff. Okay. Stay a little bit lower and a little bit more stuff. Remember, you go 2 or 3, he comes with that big right hand, roll that stuff. You know he's gonna do it.
There's the right hand right off the bat by Woodley. And here's another one. And he faked it nicely with the left hand first. And there's a takedown. And there's a spin, and Carlos just got out of the way of that.
Behind that black line, my man.
Let's keep an eye on the cardio of Tyron Woodley.
You can see
the technique of Carlos Condit.
All right, round 2, you can see his stomach moving. He's taking some deep breaths. It's certainly not the Tyron Woodley that came out for the first round fresh.
And you want to talk about master game plan, Greg Jackson.
And Winklejohn, who's one of the best striking coaches in the game.
No question about
Former
it.
kickboxing champion, is a very talented fighter himself. Carlos caught him with that kick.
And remember, that was the left kick that caught George St. Pierre.
And Carlos is able to keep up a fantastic pace for 5 rounds. He's done it before. He's confident in it. His conditioning is at a very elite level.
He's going to mix things up.
Another right hand, but look, he slides right out of the way of it. And Condit is shown remarkable durability in his career. Uh-oh, something happened.
Yeah.
Condit, he winced like he's in pain. I don't know what it is.
Was it something that, you know,
it could have been an ankle, could have been his knee.
Or was he just mad that he got taken down again?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think
it was the look of pain.
Yeah,
right?
it looked like a look of pain. Well, we don't know though. You know, we won't be able to see until he tries to stand up.
And he won't stop.
Yeah, or until we talk to him.
He's keeping busy on the bottom, Joe, so whatever it might be, it seems he's working through it.
So right now, Tyron Woodley on top, but not doing anything. And they're going to get stood up. Now we'll see if he's okay. Let's see how he walks. No limp. Could be his back, the way they went down. I mean, almost all fighters have something wrong with their back. It's the dark secret of wrestling. Tyron Woodley, beautiful. Oh, yeah, man, it's his knee. It's his knee.
And it is all over.
Oh, man.
Tyron Woodley to the knee of Carlos Condit.
Yeah, it just exploded there.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it
Carlos
may have started on that takedown.
Yeah, it might have blown out on that takedown, and that might have been just the exclamation point. Wow.
That's a shame to have a fight finish like that.
Not a shame for Tyron Woodley.
Fight replay brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go. Did the knee go down weird, Joe? There?
Yeah, you can see him when he's going down. He's wincing in pain, and see, he touched his knee. And here, the kick. And look at his right knee buckles. And see, he kicked him in his left, but it's his right knee that gives out. Yeah, he probably blew his ACL, most likely. Most likely he blew his ACL. Based on the way that movement was and the look on his face after the first takedown, and then the fact that he got kicked on the left, and it's the supporting leg that gave out. Kind of an anticlimactic way to end a really exciting fight.
And a great matchup of two of the best in the world. Take another look at it. Unfortunately, the fight ends like this. And as Joe mentioned, it's the strike to the front leg, but when he tried to land on the back leg, which may have already been damaged, boom, the buckle. And that ends the night for Carlos Condit, and Tyron Woodley earns a big victory and may put himself in position for the next shot at the 170-pound crown. Not the way you want to see it in, though. Woodley will take it, and here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jacob Montalvo has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes of round number 2, declaring the winner by TKO, Tayron, the Chosen One, Woodley.
Big win for Woodley, and he will visit with Joe Rogan.
I'm here with the winner, Tyron Woodley. Tyron, first of all, congratulations on an excellent fight while it lasted. You landed that big, hard leg kick, and you saw his leg give out. What was going through your mind right there?
You know, he's a really tough guy. So, you know, I landed some really hard right hands early in the fight. He winced a little bit, but he came forward. It was just trying to break his rhythm. And I heard him say ow when I took him down. So I said, I'm going to start chopping left or right. One of those things will hurt. So.
Now, he is former interim champion, former WEC champion, one of the most experienced guys you've ever fought. What's next for you?
We know what's next. Title. I didn't ask for this fight for anything. The persistence. I'm going to use my bonus money from the TKO, and I'll buy Dana White to make sure PCS since I blew his phone up so much. This is what it's all about. I stepped up to the plate when nobody would. I fought the toughest guy in the weight class, in my opinion, and I went out there and I finished him. It's time for Tairon, the chosen one, Wudli, and it's time for my season to reign.
Does it diminish it in any way that you finished him because his knee gave out?
No, that didn't diminish it at all because his knee gave out because I took him down. So it's a part of the process.
Well, it certainly is. So let's take a look at the kick that actually did take him out. You hit him with a really powerful leg kick on his left leg, and that's what blew out his right knee. And you're easily one of the hardest kickers in this division, and you see that back leg just give out, and he drops down. And you know how tough he is, so if he gives out like that, he's in some serious pain.
Yeah, you know, I knew a lot about this guy. I just told him a second ago. Carlos is actually my favorite fighter to actually watch fight. So it's a lot of mutual respect here. So when I went out there and I hit him with those hard shots and I kicked him, I knew he wasn't going to give up easy. And I know that if I can get through him and I can beat him, I can be a world champion.
One of the best in the business, ladies and gentlemen, Tyron Wudli.
Big win for the chosen one. He knew he hurt him on the takedown. He finishes him, and now he waits and watches very closely as Johnny Hendricks and Robbie Lawler fight for the UFC welterweight championship. Carlos Condit limping out. Such a great fighter, former interim champion, the last ever WEC welterweight champion. You hate to see him walk out like this. Defeated this evening, but I guarantee you one thing, he will be back. There's the best in the world in the women's bantamweight division. Rowdy Ronda Rousey in attendance tonight.
And Nick Diaz.
Yes, indeed. She's part of that Stockton crew.
You know, Mike, it's unfortunate that that happened that way, but it's just a part of the business. The human body just has limitations, and a guy like Carlos